Let's go across the table. Councillor Cephas, it's been a little while having you here in person, but sometimes having you on the line. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and it's always good to be at OKFM.
How is life going now?
Well, it's always tough, but we give God the glory. To God be the glory, all is well.
What are you doing now? Lawyering?
Lawyering, in fact, the Guinean man you're talking about, I was the one who was in the case from time memorial before I brought in Justice Channing to complement my effort.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was involved today in the ruling. I was feeling a bit happy. It got ruled.
So let's just start on that point before the main reason I call you here. So
I cannot wrap my head around a government not going by a court order and all of that.
Julia, is absolutely unfortunate, and this is quite strange. I haven't seen this before in my entire life, in my entire law practice, whether in Liberia or across the continent or in Europe. For example, for the court to issue, a committing a citizen to jail, and the court being the only institution responsible to commit and release. And then
you can speak a little louder.
Okay. For the court to commit a person to jail and then issue a release order in favor of the person, and then for the prosecution, which is only providing security for the court system to defy the court not once, not twice, but on three separate occasions, totally unimaginable. All those who are the Monrovia Central Prison, for instance, they are there under the commitment of the court. So it's only the court that can set them free. And when the court issued the release order, and then they send it to the prison, the prison guy who is working under the Ministry of Justice will just receive it and document and release the person. But in this case, on three separate and distinct occasions, the court was defied. We even went to the Supreme Court. The Justice in Chamber issued a mandate and said, if you don't indict the man on or before the 25th of October, then set him free as in keeping with the previous decisions that were taken. So by October 25th, they have not done that. They have not indicted him. And then by November 1, and they issue another prosecutor in his favor. And then the court, when they see November 1, on the 3rd of November, between 3 and 4 a.m., they went to the prison and took him out without any instrument from a foreign government. But first and foremost, when people are in jail, especially under the commitment of the court, it's only the court that can order their release. So the man was kidnapped from prison. I mean, this is chilling, absolutely chilling. Today, nobody knows his whereabouts. So the court ruled, and he ruled for a very long time. And each paragraph he began by saying they respected the court. The court took their position when it came to the prosecution. They respected the court and defied the court, and on and on and on and on and on. Then, at the end of the day, he fined them. He held them in contempt and fined them 500 each. But he did not stop there. He said the family of the defendant or the petitioner, they reserve the right to institute a civil action. But here's the history of the case, for instance, because I've been in the case from time immemorial. They arrested a guy at material time and claimed that he was trying to overthrow in Guinea. So they took him away. First, they took 25,000 United States out from him, and then they took 35,000, then they took 2,800, then they took 115,000, totaling 177,800 from the man. And then 150,000 Guinean francs, which is $15 US, and 2 vehicles in running perfect condition. When they helped him at the NSA for weeks before I got involved. When the issue came with him, a certain knowledge, I decided to make inquiry now, preparing for action to go to court. It was then, at that moment, they brought me over to the police. And they brought me over to the police. They sent him to court and charged him. Julius, can you imagine? They carried a man to court, not with a single paper of any evidence of what they claimed the man did. They transferred the case to the to the criminal court. So when I filed a motion to admit to bail, a motion to suppress evidence, return property, not a single piece of property was brought. You know what they brought? They brought a flying sheet no heading in, they get the list according to their own rate, list of armed ammunition they claim the man intended to acquire. So the man has been in jail on that basis and will be going up and down, Julius. When I was getting tired, I went and brought in Justice Janet, and Justice Janet joined me. It's so emotional, man. His mother was crying the other day, held onto me and said, "See, man, that's the thing the child have." So I'm so sad about it. And today, they say they took him out in the middle of the night. We know we have a remedy at law. There are too many international institutions that are involved in this matter. This case is big. Julius, very big. You understand?
Could it be troubling for the government?
It's serious. The first thing we're asking for is that they should bring it, man, 177,800. They only reported 2,300 to the court. And then they met 2 vehicles. I think one of it damaged beyond repair. While the man was in jail, they were driving it around. But let me tell you what I noticed for some reason. You see, the position of Solicitor General is a very difficult position. Sometimes, my brain, your hands are tied behind your back. You know, on certain critical issues, I know what is going on. You understand, Julius? This is wrong. It's wrong yesterday. Because, for example, for you to take somebody from the prison, it has to be upon a release order issued by the court. The man was kidnapped. They kidnapped the man from the prison. Anyway, that's not a subject of our discussion, but I just plan to make it in passing.
Yeah, sure. And it was important since you were one of the
lawyers,
so that we hear from you. Now, the issues of war and economic crimes court are always on the lips of Liberians. President Joseph Boakai has instituted the office of war crimes court. Yesterday, I had Councillor Gonglo and Mr. Bility here, together with the New Narratives journalists, talking about the efforts being made and all those kinds of things. And I'm not sure your opinion was dissenting, but I think you had some issues. But first of all, this whole war and economic crimes court thing, have you played a part in it?
Thank you.
Before you even go to that, do you care to clarify a word you use, or to
amateurism,
or to rescind it and apologize to your colleagues? Do you wish to do that first before we move on?
Let me navigate that. Let me just listen, Julius. I recall when I was Solicitor General, I addressed a joint assembly of the legislature, that 54 legislature, and the issue was they were trying to use the transitional justice, process, the TJC, Transitional Justice Commission. So I was one of those panelists that they called to give an expert opinion based on my training and experience as a certified international criminal lawyer and international humanitarian lawyer. Because I was in government, the position that was then being posed was that, so I then dwelt on one side of the argument, and that argument that I took was the argument of the day. First, I said you needed constitutional amendments, and I cited all the constitutional provisions that needed to be amended for the establishment of the court.
No, before we go to that, I said, can we just clear that part up?
Yeah, I come in. That's the point. I'm laying the premise.
Okay.
Because I'm a lawyer. I lay the premise. So what I did, it was that position that was trending. Then the obvious happened on the other side of the dial. So I was in here when the whole argument was starting. I was in The Hague. I went for a brief in The Hague.
When?
So, February. So
you mean this in here?
This in here. So when I was in The Hague, and then I decided to travel to Arusha because I registered in 2017 and to take the exam for the RRMCT, which is the International Residual Mechanism for all international criminal courts and tribunal. You understand? No Liberian has ever subscribed to that. So I wanted to be the first Liberian. I tried in 2017, I didn't succeed. So 2024, I was fighting to be there. So when I was there, I reapplied. Then they brought my application and said, "Oh, these are the requirements. You didn't meet it last time you applied." So I applied. Obviously, I got to be there. So when I was there, Councillor Jerome Verdier, who will call on this show, called me and says, "Arrhenius, we've been struggling with this idea of war crime code. I learned that when you was in The Hague in 2016, you presented a paper on the principle of complementary jurisdiction." I presented a paper that if you have a constitution that is to a large extent too nationalistic and you want to create an international court, you can create a code and give it a complementary jurisdiction. That's an excellent piece of paper that I wrote. So he said, we want to pass certain things by you so you can guard, or because there's a struggling block as to how we address the issue of Article 34E. So I said, let me see what you have. So Councillor Verdier had already drafted the War Crime Code Act. He had already drafted, for example, the executive order that you're talking about, people claiming to have written, and urged me to look at it and edit and give my guidance based on my experience as an international criminal lawyer, to look at it and advise. When I look at the whole team, I said, wow, this is brilliantly done, but there are a lot of flaws in your argument because part of some of the articles are not perfectly laid out. So let me do the editing of both the draft act, the resolution that you now become, we call it John Stanley resolution, House resolution, and the executive order. You can call him. You will call on the show. Call him. So I drafted, redrafted, reconditioned, rephrased, restructured the entire work of that. So I said, when I did that, I said, look, I did it as a lawyer. So I don't understand some of the issues. So what I would do, I have my friend. He's brilliant. I like his IQ. He's cool. He's a very scary fellow. But when I gave him the thing, he will tell me the way to proceed. He said, I said, Magay. Say me that. I said, yeah. I said, he has some wisdom.
You mean
Senator Magay? I said, me give it to Magay. Let Magay critique it. Because I really, you send it to me, you did me, restructure it. Two of us we agree. So I give it to a third party who don't have understanding of the issue to advise. But I presented the draft resolution, the executive order, and the draft act to Magay. 2 days later, Magay sent me a mail and told me, Sereno, I don't know where I don't think you are thinking of Liberia. He said, dissect one for the War Crime Code, one for Economic Crimes Code. You understand? Draft the act, one for Economic Crime Code and one for War Crime Code. The resolution, look at it from other dimensions. And you understand? And see whether it's reflective of an international standard given your training. So I reverted to
Councillor
Verdier. Councillor Verdier said, yeah, Sereno, you are at liberty to do what you want to do. So if you read the joint resolution, you see you should be a member of this, you should be a member of that, that's my idea. That is the idea, because we set as a bar. For example, we set a bar in a draft that is being worked on. We set a bar. The bar we said is that you must have practiced at a certain level for a number of years to be able to be. For example, Councillor Johnson just got admitted to the RRMCT after we recommended him.
Okay.
He has to satisfy certain criteria, benchmark to be able to be admitted to that. So we set those conditions. Now, I use the word amateurism in the new act I was talking about. I was drafted by my friend, Professor, Jalababu. Let me tell you, in the practice of law before any international court, there are 3 fundamental criteria that a lawyer must meet. One of which he clearly fulfills. You must be qualified academically. You must be experienced and competent. You understand? Those are the 3 fundamental criteria to practice before any international criminal court or to be admitted. Now, the act that was drafted is flawed, for example, by them. Because it's a clear...
Which one? Is it the current one you're talking about?
No, I don't know the one I've been working on. No, that one. I've not released it. I've been holding on to it. For some reason, I will tell you why. The one that was done by Councillor Babu and the other people is fundamentally flawed. For example, how do you draft an act without taking into consideration the foundation, which is a sovereign decision of the people of Liberia under Article 34E? How do you address Article 34E? And the reason why I came on your show is because my senior brother, the man who actually gave me the first job when I left from law school, Councillor Gonglo, was making some serious fundamental mistakes. When he said, oh, like Liberia signed today other treaty here and that treaty obligation. He doesn't understand the subject matter. Let me say what the subject matter is. Under Article 57, the President of this Republic only has 2 powers: negotiating and signatory power. Article 34F gives the legislature the approval power. And when an act is approved, in the word ratification is not in the Constitution, when it's approved or ratified, we use the common phrase, it becomes part of the domestic laws of the Republic. You understand? And Article 2 says, when that law is already ratified, it becomes subordinate to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. So, the question that I was asking, how do you address the issue of Article 34E? And my contention was, under the conditions, the requirement for any amendment of a constitutional provision is provided for under Article 91 of the 1986 Constitution. I don't need to see your Constitution to I know your Constitution so well. So for you to say treaty obligation does not apply, and the reason is simple. Liberia is a dualist state, not a monolith state. Liberia and Sierra Leone are not the same. Under the Sierra Leone Article 54 of their Constitution, the president can go and get and sign an instrument. It becomes part of the domestic law of Sierra Leone. But in the case of Liberia, it has to be rectified. Now, the ICC, for example, the Rome Statute, was ratified by the government of Liberia in 2004 and deposited. So it's part of the what? Domestic laws of the Republic.
So I still come back, even with the disagreements. Do you not regret using the word amateurish on some of your learned colleagues?
I think it was, I was quoting friends, but I didn't say according to them. So I think I went a little, I think I crossed the red line. And first and foremost, he's a senior brother. Senior brother. So I recognize his respect. Listen, in Liberia, Councillor Gongo is senior in many respects. But for example, if we appear before an international forum, International Criminal Court, they are all babies to me. I've got admitted since 2016. And the International Criminal Court.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Liberia. He's senior. Yeah. And the point I wanted to make that by coming on OKFM or talking here, they are practicing law from Monrovia to Bonganima, it doesn't make you an international lawyer. You have to be certified, certificated, and accredited by an international institution.
So we can clearly say you regret using that word yesterday.
I crossed the red line, and for a senior brother, I think I should have said that what he said, not to him, and I apologize for that.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now, so on the whole War Economic Crimes Code thing, currently the way the setup is and everything else going forward, what could be your recommendations in doing it right?
No, listen. I still believe that we have not fulfilled the joint resolution. We have not fulfilled.
Which one?
The requirement.
The current joint resolution.
Yeah, the current joint resolution. It said, you need to get a copy, Julia.
I have it.
It says what the requirement of the person that's supposed to be the special envoy. Those requirements must be met. They have not been met. Even Professor Dr. Jale Babu doesn't qualify to head the office.
How? Why?
Because the joint resolution is the law. Out of which the executive order grows. You understand? And lay out the criteria as to who should head the office. Read the joint resolution.
What are the criteria?
One, you should be a certified counsel of the African Court on Human and People Rights. You should be a certified counsel of the International Criminal Court. You should be a certified counsel of any international criminal court in the world. Check it, it's there. I'm not the one who wrote it. That's why they sent it. And that's why the president signed the law. And I said, and let me be frank, because sometimes people will call. There are 3 fundamental requirement regime if you want to practice before any international criminal court. You need first the academic qualification. You need the experience. You need the competence. Let me tell you, when we were working on the eye, you know who we expected to apply? Me tell you know who we expected?
Who?
Arthur Johnson. So we did everything to drill him through all the rigors. When it came to voting as to whether Arthur should be admitted, I have 28 votes. I gave all 28 votes to him.
You mean on the International Criminal Court?
Of course. I see him. Call him any day. I gave him all my votes. And you know what I wrote? If you see the recommendation I wrote for Arthur, you will not believe it. I said, he's fearless, he's bold, he's visionary, he's decisive, and he understands the nuances of the rudiments of proceedings and will be a asset to the court based on the the respect and honor that you are giving me. Me share with you, but cyber issue, you need to follow up this. And Councillor Verdier will call. Few days ago, the International Criminal Court at the beginning of this year sent out a citation on the website and solicited qualified counsel to represent Joseph Kony from Uganda, who will be indicted for war crime code. And they lay out all the criteria as to who the quality of person they needed to apply. 72 persons applied from around the world. Best criminal lawyers from around the world. I was one of those who applied. But listen, they talk about, the first thing they talk about geographic representation as a fundamental requirement. They talk about gender balance. Then they talk about, in that something they talk about someone who understands the social, cultural, political dynamics of Uganda and in the region where the man is coming from. So all of us apply. When we all apply, everybody who saw my applications here and there, some people started calling me already and say, oh, Serenius, we need to work with you, blah, blah. Somebody said, I can do case management here and there. But guess what? When it came to the vetting and procedure, you know who they appointed? They appointed Peter Hames from England. You know what the reason they appointed him? Apart from the experience all of our guys, he has been solely, wholly involved with the court from day one on critical issues of this nature. Even though he did not certify the cultural and social dynamics of Uganda, which actually exclude me because I'm not from Uganda, I'm from West Africa. But guess what happened? Guess what happened? Jerome Verdier and the group, the International Justice Group, and the African Bar wrote challenging the selection criteria. After what? After I have written and challenged the procedure in which we were excluded. Then they wrote back, and this is where experience come about. When they wrote, you know what they did? They post so many laws there. They sent it to him. He sent it to me. And I responded to the letter. I was able to show all the laws. And it was an oversight. I am seeing this to say, qualification, academic-wise, perfect, but by experience, no. Quote me. No. And Councillor Verdier and other people call on their show. So I was hooked. Now, my senior brother did not address Article 34E. It's critical. You're looking at the resolution, go, you will see. Go.
Fine.
Look at the resolution. We even talk about Article 34B. You know what Article 34B says? It talks about the security of the state. The laws, the rules that will be made, and how to look. My brother, that Senate resolution is well crafted. It lay out the fundamental basis as to who will be heading that office. You understand?
So you still think that Councillor Jalal Babu doesn't fit it?
Academically, he can work in a section of the code, but not to be the director.
No, but it is not about the code yet. It is just the
no
office.
section of the office.
Yeah.
So, WCCOF, yes, the office. The office. Or to head the office? No. Read the Senate resolution.
So then who in Liberia who had that? Only you and Arthur Johnson?
No.
Why are you trying to say? Because only two of you have practiced
no.
or are practicing.
No, Arthur have not practiced yet. I have practiced before the court.
So it means that
Arthur has I don't want the job. Listen, Arthur has an invitation on the 30th of November. You'll be in The Hague. He's running to be on the text committee of the court to do, because every time there's some restructuring. But we were thinking that he would be, all along, we were thinking that Arthur would be said, perfect. At least Liberia will have somebody that we can all boast of. We thought that was Arthur. Academically, I don't challenge his qualification academically. But experience, no. And it's in the resolution.
I don't know why I can't find mine, so please send me.
No, I will send it to you.
It should be.
What I have is the one I have is not a signed one.
Where I stored it.
But listen. You know, for example, when the joint resolution was signed and sent to the president, was signed or printed in the handbill, you as a public figure, you are entitled to a copy because it's part of the law.
I have it.
Okay.
I should have it somewhere.
But check it out.
Yeah.
Now, so listen.
I'm just trying to fact check.
So listen. In the executive order, the war envoy was put there by me. And you know what we put there?
Which one, the current executive order?
I'm talking about the whatever, but you know what we put there? We make it, we say, because one of the person that will be in the office to go for confirmation hearing. So we equated it to ambassadorial level. Look at it, it's there. Councillor Verdier will call on this show. Councillor Verdier and I work on that. But listen, Julius, I don't hate because in Liberia, the normal practice is that by the time you criticize somebody, then you hate them. Let me tell you. And Julius, let me just give a side comment. You know, on the 10U2, you just give it a leave for your information. When the 10U laws were being made in 2016, I challenged that. Everybody said, oh, I'll follow confusion because I said, when you have 10U position when Julius Jerry become president tomorrow, all the cabinet ministers then become have 10U. How does he exercise Article 54 of the 1986 Constitution? And how does he enjoy Article 56 of the Constitution? They say, oh, here and there. You saw how it ended? You saw what? Because so if you will give somebody a 10U, my contention then was give them 10U that when the president takes office, you wouldn't have president get 6 years. All 10U position but be within 6 years. So everybody leaves, the president can appoint everybody. I had an argument.
Is what you're talking about also in the executive order?
Which one?
The issue.
No.
About the qualifications.
The qualification is in a joint resolution.
The joint resolution.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the executive order.
The executive order talks about the office, blah, blah, what the person will be doing. But
okay, thanks to someone sent it to me.
Okay, look at the joint standing resolution.
Yeah, let me look at
it. The person should be this, the person should be that, the person should be this. It's it.
Okay. So now, I was asking you for ways forward in the whole War Economic Crimes Code thing. What are your suggestions for ways forward? Because the issue of constitutionality, the Supreme Court, and this special code, and all those kinds of complex things. What is your suggestion for the way forward?
Let me tell you. You know what the guys do? For example, the requirement regime of Article 34E. In establishing the code, you have to address Article 34E. You got to address that. And in the resolution, it's there. 34E, 34R, 34JL is there. They put it there. 34B, they put it there. This is there, signed.
Which of the resolutions, joint resolution, you mean the current one, the Bwakani?
I'm talking about the one that was signed, the joint resolution, but the recent joint resolution that.
Okay, no, but then the one the president said was real time.
No.
I have that.
But Julius, there's something I will send it to you. I get it on my laptop.
I have to get it to the phone moving on.
Yeah, but get it.
I'm trying. I know I have it somewhere. I'm still trying to check. I know I read that joint resolution.
There are requirements. The joint resolution is a law. It's a law. You understand?
But I still have not got a recommendation. Why you won't give me a recommendation for the ways forward on War Economic Crime?
I support the War Economic Crime Code, but I disagree with the set of the way it's being done. The way it's being done, I disagree.
So what are the ways forward then?
I still believe that the office needs to be headed by somebody who is qualified, experienced, and competent. I still believe.
Someone was removed because of some of these reasons. They put another person, the Councillor Dr. Jalababu. I am told one of the most learned in this country.
That's the problem we have in Liberia. When Elwood Don came to Liberia, we were kids in the 70s, and President Togo appointed him assistant minister of state for presidential affairs. Everybody said, but they may get PhD. Look at other people out there. We were just thinking that way. Look, having a PhD is not up to you when it comes to law practice. It's an experience that you need. You need the experience. You understand? You need the experience. Yeah. You need the experience. Did I say you're not qualified academically? No. I didn't say so. But in terms of experience, no.
Okay. Now, so that your only recommendation for the office to be relooked at.
Yeah. Then
that would be the second one. Even the Americans have expressed their pleasure.
Yeah, because
Jalababu being
listen to this.
Are you not just trying to be critical?
No, I'm not being critical. Listen to this. If you even were to You appointed massacre, the American was certified, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, but they gave him useful and everything.
Mm.
They were certified. Now, given the current political variables in Washington, do you still have faith into the process? The question I'm trying to tell you, I don't oppose my friend. He's a great friend of mine. He's a great friend of mine. But read the Senate resolution, the joint resolution. And I mean, really, I'm going to tell you what we did and what the people signed. So they signed it. Is there? We read it. The who signed it? But they are the one, the author. But I'm just telling you. And I said, Councillor Brady.
Okay, let me read it. I have the joint resolution. Thanks to this person.
Okay.
Count 6 under the joint resolution says that consistent with Chapter 2, Article 5C of the 1986 Constitution, the President shall issue an executive order to establish the Office of War Crimes within the Ministry of Justice and appoint forthwith a special envoy or officer in charge.
Okay.
OIC duly certified by the International Criminal Court in
The
Hague.
You know who did that? Stop right there.
Yes.
Stop there. You know that? When I was speaking, I told you the war envoy was what? Put there by me, right? And the reason why we instructed the war envoy is that the person will have a diplomatic passport and the person will go for confirmation hearing. So read, go on.
Duly certified by the International Criminal Court, ICC in The Hague, Netherlands, or the African Court on Human and People's Rights, or any other international courts and tribunals with the relevant experience, qualification, and competency in international criminal law and practice to organize and coordinate. Now,
so you see that? You agree with me now? You see everything?
No, I'm not agreeing with you yet, because this also puts an order. So if it says duly certified by the International Criminal Court in The Hague, in Netherlands, or the African Court on Human and People Rights, that means if you are certified by the African Court,
so do you have
the International Court, you are still eligible.
Do you have evidence like the appointee have been certified? There are only 2 persons from Liberia have been certified. 3rd person will be Arthur. 2 persons.
Who are the 2 persons?
There's a guy here. I was certified in 2014. I don't know. I'm on a pro bono committee. Once in a while, I go to Arusha. But there's a guy.
You mean the African stuff?
Yeah, the African court. There's a guy who is certified. But when the court came to Liberia recently, they were using money to attract Liberian lawyers to apply, and Arthur applied. They were saying, look, since 2014, we've had Councillor Sinkers.
So the International Criminal Court. How many lawyers in Liberia are certified?
I got admitted through efforts and recommendations.
And we know about your own. How many other people you
Arthur
know?
Johnson.
Only you, Arthur Johnson.
Yeah, only Arthur.
Okay. Then it also has any other international courts and tribunals with the relevant experience. Okay. So do we know other international courts and tribunals?
The international residual mechanism for all international criminal court called RRMCT.
Yeah.
For example, for you to get admitted to it, to get admitted to that particular training, you must have practiced for pretty close to 15 years, and then you must have some achievement, some of the requirement international criminal
Are there any Liberians there?
Yes, Arthur is there. Arthur just got admitted. In fact, Arthur signed up to go and review cases of people who were convicted and sentenced to 150 years in prison.
Are you also there?
I've been there. I've been going up and down. I have a case.
So again, I only you and Arthur on.
But it's Arthur that I told you when the whole essence was being done, we were contemplating Arthur Johnson because we felt he would be the better person to be able to make a representation.
So why is it other lawyers are not becoming members of these bodies?
The requirement is I don't know what to say. My brother, it's not even for example, before I got admitted, I applied in 2017, right? I never had anybody when you get all the requirements, all requirements, somebody have to be inside that will say, yes, this person is. I never had anybody there. So until we had an argument when I went to The Hague, and one woman called Charles Taku from Cameroon, he recommended me. So with that recommendation, I was able to recommend Arthur. That's why Arthur didn't go through all the things. I had to give him all my 28 votes. So
how do you alone get 28 votes?
You need to see the kind of experiences I've done. You know that I serve as duty counsel of the International Criminal Court, but I don't tell people. I don't talk about it. I get my gown. If you see me in my regalia, I'm not. No Liberian have seen that. After he's leaving on the 30th year, he will be there, and maybe you'll rope to do some review of cases. But what I'm saying, I'm not opposed to the idea. I'm only saying the two disagreements I had from my senior brother, my most senior and professional brother, to say Liberia signed up to all the treaty, blah, blah, blah. Liberia is a dualist state. As president under Article 57 of the 1986 Constitution, there are only two single power.
What is your fear if the special court comes here? What's your fear? What could go wrong?
But listen to this. Listen to this. I'm one of the authors working on the draft act to meet international standard. Then do I have fear? No, I don't have fear. First and foremost, we're laying the benchmark.
What are the right things? But you seem to be circumventing the key thing.
You said fear in terms of what?
You are in favor of it.
Perfect.
And the people that I had yesterday are in favor of it.
Yeah.
But
what then?
What is our real disagreement then?
Thank you. My only disagreement as it relates to Councillor Gonglo to say that Liberia is a signatory to all treaties and therefore blah blah blah. No. The amendment of Article 34E is required.
Oh, okay. So you want that amendment to take place?
Yeah.
But I'm not asking you for way forward.
Yeah,
you can dodge it.
It's a sovereign decision that was made by the sovereign people of Liberia. And that sovereign decision, you cannot take it away by mere treaty obligation. Treaty obligation is not binding on Liberia.
So that means you are expecting the campaigners and everybody to move to pressure the legislature
to start thinking about the jurisdiction of the court in a form and manner that it will not rival the constitutional court, which is the Supreme Court. Because the judicial sovereignty of the republic is vested in the Supreme Court.
But then that is not a major disagreement.
No, that's not a major disagreement. But the only disagreement was to say Liberia signed up to so many treaties, blah blah blah. No, I said the Constitution reigns supreme.
Okay. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Now we have got it out of Councillor Arthur Johnson.
He's on the line?
Who?
Arthur Johnson?
Oh, no, you're not talking to me. Sorry. Councillor Cyrenia Cephas. Yeah. I want to hear from other lawyers, if possible. If Councillor Verdier is following, he calls in, he has my numbers. Yeah. I'll take him as well. But this is it, the OK Conversation. That is what we do. We try to dig out everything. I hope Mr. Hassan Bilite is following as well.
But Hassan knows.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me say good evening to Dr. Serena Shiva. Happen to be the president for all of the Chelsea fair in Liberia. This is activate Martin Render, and I will join you this evening for Luda office.
Why?
Nigeria for justice and accountability. I listened to Dr. Serena Shiva. Honestly, his well-written exposé has played a better role in building our legal sector in our country. For one fact, he is well respected, and then Liberia will always point to some of the case studies. I want to ask you one great question. How do you feel right now after the booting out, the political booting out of Senator Mazakwe and bringing in a very senior man in president, Jara Babu, to help the World Economic Forum? When I say the political booting out, it's on the basis of the way in which Senator Mazakwe was booted out for the World Economic Forum. It's highly political because this man is the first time he opened the danger to travel and return with $3,200 that went back to government cover as a DSA that was never funded. 1, 2. He never supported the Unity Party, but in fact he got a job on 2 different occasions he was put out. See, because he's not aligning with the only police guys in the legal sector, and then he was put out. Finally, also there were people.
What is your issue?
My issue there were lawyers who are on record, including the current head for the Liberia Bar Association, Serena.
So why your issue now, man? We get enough time. Other people can call.
My issue is the form and manner in which Senator Mazakwe was put out. What is the take on it?
Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold that. What is his stake? Someone just sent me the list, 2024 updated list of lawyers of the ICC. I am seeing your name there. I'm seeing Arthur Johnson. I don't know if there's any other Liberian there. Okay, welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius. And this is Muali. Good afternoon,
Yeah, evening. Go ahead, Mo.
Councillor Cephas.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, let me admit that Councillor Cephas is a very brilliant lawyer. But let's assume, based on the criteria, that he is the only qualified person.
No, he and Arthur Johnson, the way I see it so far.
Yeah, but well, based on the experience that he talked about, Arthur Johnson may not meet that part of the criteria of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
But let's assume that he is the only qualified person. And given that we are almost heavily dependent on the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
to push this issue, especially of funding of the war crimes court, and owing to the fact that he is on American sanction,
Mm-hmm.
don't you think, let's assume he has gone through the process and gone based on his qualification, his experience.
But he said earlier that he doesn't want the job.
So now the question there is, if he doesn't want it, and we don't have any other person that may meet all of these criteria, here's my question.
What do we do?
What can he as a person, or what can the question with the country do? Do we go with a foreign person, or what?
Okay, good. He will address that. Let me go overseas, take this one. I'll come back. Noah gives you, I'm seeing your call, but let me go overseas. First of all, welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Gibson, I come from Paris.
Yes, go ahead.
Today, when the Constitution is in the office, we try to make the volume correct because we are not getting Councillor Cephas. Councillor Cephas is an asset to Liberia. It's a constitution. Because he got the law, he gave number, letters. Now, my only problem here is that he keeps stressing on the International Criminal Court. I believe that the International Criminal Court, the judges are there, are all criminals also because they investigate. They cannot settle investigation with biasness because they are afraid of certain country. They cannot indict their people. They cannot.
Yeah, but now we are talking about Liberia.
With Fatou Bensouda, when she tried to indict those criminals that bombed the
yeah, but we agree with all that one. But let's focus on Liberia.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know why you hate this international people. You done a living in France, you citizen of France. Well, how dare you talking against the people? Go ahead.
Yeah, but those people sometimes they are violent.
Yeah, I agree now. So let's not focus on our own leaders.
France is also guilty of that.
Yeah, bro.
Now, my issue, Councillor Cephas, just a little bit of question. Somebody was saying yesterday under Article 57, I stand to be corrected on that the president has the right to bypass the legislature and use the budget because there is a situation in the legislature and even when the president will take sides, they can actually bypass the legislature and focus on the budget and work without any budgetary passing by the legislature.
Which one? Are you speaking in relation to our discussion or the speaker removal saga?
No, I'm speaking about the constitutionality of the president bypassing the legislature.
But we didn't. That was not the reason I invited you. Maybe I can invite him on another day. Yeah, no, we're not leave this discussion. No. It's a special reason I invited him here. Besides, he's not the lawyers to the speaker, so I wouldn't just invite him on that issue.
No, I'm one of the lawyers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Welcome. Let's hear you, Noah Gibson.
Thank you, Julius Chair. Once again, for the public, this is Noah Zau Gibson here. I speak for the main compound of the National Transit Authority. Julius, while it is true we appreciate your platform and we always appreciate it, we now want to have some individual who is sitting somewhere frustrated because a former stand-up bearer was laid behind bar for 50 years for aiding the blatant war crime. So you want to vent that angle at the international community all of the time, and we welcome that. That decision was one of the best decisions ever to keep the country stable. So you will always be frustrated while you're sitting in France. But let me say this.
No, Mama, I will not have you. No, please.
Let me say this.
Let's avoid those kinds of things. You are an official, and he's your citizen.
I take it back.
Yeah,
I take it back.
Thank you.
Okay, so Let me say this to Councillor Cephas. Councillor Cephas, there is no doubt that you're one of the best legal minds of our country. Nobody's going to argue that. But one thing I like to differ with you of all you said is this. The Americans are not some behind the house people. Why is they not God? They are subject to mistakes. We are all human beings. But they are not, one behind the house individual who will just sit down and just qualify somebody who was appointed. Remember, when Councillor Massaquoi, my good friend that I supported so much and I still believe that he needed to stay on, was appointed, there were backlash at the government. Even the orator came up and said that decision to have him appointed was dubious. It was being done rightly. The president being a listening president, he withdrew the nomination. There were panelists or panel that is set up to do the vetting process. So are you telling us those people who did the vetting process, they did not do a good job? And besides that, where was this Arthur Jack Johnson who also did not apply? He did not apply, he applied, then they left him out, or they left him out, and that's the case, even though he said he didn't want it.
Thanks so kindly.
You need to recommend somebody. So don't play on us here like that.
Thanks
Just
so
go
kindly.
ahead
and
do what you want to do.
Why are you there, you heard?
We are moving forward, and it's behind us. Thank you.
Okay, why are you talking there, you vexed? No, I'm talking with foes.
Yeah, I'm vexed because you cannot come to yours and make yourself look like you are Tima going against some knowledge. Those were some people that experts have put together to constitute this thing.
Thanks so kindly. Let's take two more. Then we'll go back to him. The news is up next. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me say good evening to my most illustrious lawmaker. Let's say a liquor luminary, of Councillor Stigma Serena Sifa. I have very respect for his help when it comes to the law. Julius, I would love to say that I feel passionate about this library, and I wish that we will have more library practicing at the level of the international thing. These people, these lawmakers, I have so much respect for this lawmaker that every discussion I have before that name. But I didn't mean lawmaker, but I mean our lawyers. There's a name that he made some advancement to get himself on the international scene. At least I brought him inside of there. To close up, Julius, I'm disappointed and frustrated and shocked about the way of the break of the rule of law in this country. Why would the government want to go? Why would the government go to a prison at night and then put somebody out and send them to another country? This is criminal. I think this government has crossed the bounds. And there's a name that those people who call themselves human rights lawyers and those respectable people that the room man, I think there's a need that you speak to this issue and talk to the president government. Yes, so it's unacceptable.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Yes, go ahead quickly.
Thank you. My name is David Rahman, and I'm calling from the Red Light. Julius, let me say thanks to the councillor in studio. But I got three questions. Question number one, he talks about qualification. And looking at Councillor Babu Jala, he said he has the experience, he has the qualification.
No, he said he has the qualification, but experience and something else I like him.
And he listed three criteria. So Councillor Babu reads two of those criteria.
He said one.
No, I listen to him. He talk about three.
Okay, yeah.
They talk about three. So if Councillor Babu Jala has met two of those three criteria that he listed, it's still telling us because of that one, Councillor Babu Jala should not occupy that position.
Okay, thanks so kindly. This one says, let me add my voice to the many callers on the issues of the GMB administration lawlessness. The decision of President Boakai to listen to his political advisor is troubling. GMB, remember that he said not business as usual. Sifas Ojuku Gamayan of the Kawa Township says. That will come back to you, so listen to the call.
Yeah, look, listen, of all the callers I listen to Moali, and I tend to agree with Moali in something. I don't vie for the position, certainly will not. And Arthur Johnson made it clear that he has no interest in that. So what needs to be done is that now that Councillor Jala Babu has been appointed and has certified one of the criteria for the position, he needs to incorporate other people who have the experience and competence to be able to provide the direction needed, because it's a Liberian initiative. I still maintain that for you to seek any employment at any international criminal court, you need three fundamental qualifications. Councillor Babu certifies one. academic qualification is not sufficient a basis to occupy such a position. And you read the Senate, the joint resolution, they lay out the criteria in clear and unambiguous terms. So don't envy. I saw Noah Zau Gibson.
Let me just squeeze in Hassan maybe for just 1 minute.
Okay.
Welcome, sir.
How you doing? And hi to my dear friend, my comrade.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think one needs to be qualified by the ICC, which has no jurisdiction, absolutely none whatsoever, on any of the crimes that were committed during Liberia's 2 civil wars before becoming an executive director of the court. The basic requirement is you should be a lawyer. Basically, I believe, and many other people believe, including our international partners, that Councillor Jalababu specifically suits the qualification and should be nominated. He was nominated. With all due respect to Councillor Cephas, who is an ICC qualified person. This one, Councillor Babu is not going to be a judge. He's going to be executive director of the court to run the day-to-day activities of the court. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
With due respect.
Yeah, let me differ and just close on this. You read consists of the joint resolution, which is law, and lay out the qualification, right?
But that looks too stringent. Then I mean, so
someone
asks.
But
someone asks, do we go for international pricing?
What you need to do, listen, is the law. That one
will ask now. So what do we do? We must go for someone international?
No, listen, not because
you and Arthur Johnson don't want the job.
No,
listen,
listen to me, Julio. Let me close on there. And my great friend who called not too long. You wrote a law and say every Monday people should stay home and sleep. So Monday comes up some poor guy and say, well, I'm not going to stay home. And you say, but we'll do this. But that's what the law says. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying in essence, you incorporate those who have the experience because he said if I wanted to.
And so you can go international.
Oh, yeah. So for example,
so the country could go international.
So the office, for example, when you appear before your colleague, they want to know what kind of what's your standard.
So then be clear now. We go international again soon.
No.
What about it? No, yeah. You say you want it. I thought just not want it.
But
so,
you don't know. After it's a scarecrow, but that's what. So listen, I want to close. I appreciate all the comments. I didn't mean any harm, and I want to say this. Councillor Jalababu is a great friend, but we should call a spade a spade.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. His name is Councillor Silma Sarenius Cephas. My name is Julius J.